Okay, so you guys are constantly reading, and I guess you guys get together with your. You guys invited me. Remember when you started this about a year ago?
Yeah.
You invited me to come and talk about how a bill actually gets passed.
Yeah.
And I explained to you guys. You know, y'all had that little sheet of paper about how a bill becomes law, and I crumpled it up and I threw it in the trash can. And I said, "Now let me tell you how a bill really becomes law." And I sat there for the next hour, and the glazed, the looks that came over everybody's face, it was utter shock and panic when I told people how a bill really becomes law in Jefferson City. And as a result of going through this, what I told you, is it the truth?
Pretty much to a T.
Yeah.
But people don't understand how that system can be manipulated.
It is manipulated constantly.
I mean, we see it all the time in Washington, D.C., where, I mean, if you look at the light bulb bill, you know, that you can blame the Democrats for defeating it, but had they not yanked it out of committee and tried to fast-track it, which caused the aspect of needing the two-thirds majority to get it passed, if they just let it go through the process, it probably would have been passed. So it's almost like, I mean, hate to say it, but it's almost like the Republican leadership decided to say, okay, well, we're going to use this as a means to tattoo the Democrat Party.
Right.
We're going to bring it out of committee. We're going to get it on the floor. We're going to force a vote on it. And when it doesn't pass, we're going to tie them into a corner.
Sure.
And that happens in Jeff City.
That happens in Jeff City. There's no doubt about it. I know constantly we would put the Democrats in a very difficult situation to use a bill to beat them over the heads with in the next election. It happened, and they did it to us when they were in power, and it's wrong. It's unethical, and many times it's unconstitutional. The process should not be used as a political tool. It should be used for good government, and unfortunately, that doesn't happen enough. But you know what, Tom? I want to say, as a recovering politician, former legislator, and as a citizen, thank you for all the time and effort that you guys put into this. This is utterly amazing. You are having a very positive impact on how our legislators vote. They are reconsidering it. They are reading the Constitution. They're keeping up with your criteria, and it's making for better votes and better government in the state of Missouri. And my friend, thank you so much for what you're doing. And as a result of your hard work, you have something very special to announce, that you had a major sponsor come onto your award. Tell our audience about that.
We did. We had a call and an email transaction from Rush Limbaugh's 2FIT, and they are a platinum sponsor now of the Locke Smith Award. And the way it was worded, it's not only for this year. This is going to be something that goes out even further year after year, that they have sponsored our Locke Smith Awards. So it's pretty impressive that a little state like Missouri can get a global icon like Rush Limbaugh to sponsor our event.
How did that happen? How did he find out about it?
I don't know if because when people were ordering tea, maybe they mentioned the Young Conservatives group, or if some people had mentioned the Locke Smith Award, and somebody actually from there had to look it up on the website. And then from there, they just said, we agree with your criteria. We agree with what you're doing. We want to sponsor your event. My hat's off to them.
That's unbelievable, Vinny.
That's great. And by the way, we're going to be at that banquet, all three of us. Tom Martz, Mark Wright, and I will all be at the banquet. And Mark, Tom, how much is it for the public to be at this gala event that Mark and I had so much fun at last time?
It's $40 a ticket right now.
That sounds like break even. You know what? For this kind of a banquet event at $40.
I think it is. I mean, with the food, the service, the rental of the room. We have Sarah Steelman coming in as the speaker for this event. Last year it was William Federer.
Yeah, Bill did a great job.
Bill done a great job. Sarah was actually asked before she became a politician, so at the point that she was asked and committed to it, she had not decided to run for the Senate.
Okay. Now, so this thing is open to, any politician, is it not? Any elected official, federal, local?
It's open up to everybody, and rumor has it that our state our federal state representative from the 7th Congressional District will be in attendance.
That's amazing. You know what I think, Tom? That first of all, it's amazing that Rush Limbaugh, 2FIT, would sponsor your event, and I suspect that this thing is going to get larger and better every year. And I think you're going to have other states that are going to copy you guys from here on out once they learn more about it.
I would like to see it, and I'd also like to see more people in the state of Missouri get involved. I mean, with the internet, there's absolutely no reason why we as an organization or we as a legislative committee have to maintain our status here in Springfield.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got people that drive in 15, 20 miles just to come to our meetings so we can start reviewing legislation on a nightly basis. So they're taking money out of their pockets, which they could probably do something else with, just to try to keep an eye on what's going on in Jeff City and trying to actually promote limited, fiscally responsible government.
It's amazing. Okay, so tell us again, where do people go to find out more information?
You can go to lockeandsmith.com, and Locke is spelled with an E. It is the award itself is actually named after John Locke and Adam Smith, which if people actually research them, they will find a lot of the essence of the Constitution came from these two individuals.
So that's LOCKE.
Correct.
AND.
Correct.
SMITH.com.
Correct.
One more time. LOCKE AND SMITH. LockeandSmith.com. And Tom, we are broadcasting on 5 states and worldwide on the internet, so you may have some contacts of people from other states that want to emulate, replicate, duplicate your efforts.
Vinny, I think that's an excellent point. If there's people out there who are concerned about good government in their state legislatures, and this is my belief, the federal government's too massive, it's too large, there's too many special interests, it's too far in debt to make a positive impact on the local and state level. States' rights is the way to go. We got to bring this thing back locally and statewide, and that's the way we lead this country back to restoration, is through these state legislatures. And you, sir, you and your group are leading the way. Thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate it, and look forward to coming the second Saturday in October downtown at University Plaza to the second annual Locke Smith Awards.
And you can actually register for the banquet at lockeandsmith.com or TYCOA.com.
Okay, and buy your tickets as well.
Correct.
Vinny, meet up today, 5:30 at Ziggy's.
Yeah,
Sunshine and Glenstone.
Yep.
Tom will be there if you want to ask him more questions about the Locke Smith Awards and the event. And next week, you start us out on Monday.
I do.
Survival economics.
I will. Hey, Mark, I think that we need to let the class know that if you're from another state and you want to see how we do this in Missouri at the Locke Smith Awards, you need to come. Register. It's $40. You will see how we do it, and you can hold your representatives that work for you accountable.
No doubt about it. Okay, see you tonight at Ziggy's at the meetup, and we'll be back here Monday at USA Prepares at 3 p.m.
Vincent, Mark, thank you. Although classroom activities are completed for today, we are not finished. Study what you have learned and share it with your friends and family. Your homework is to visit usaprepares.com. Remember, class meets daily at 3 p.m. sharp on KWTO 560 AM. No notes from your mama, no excuses. What happens next is up to you.
You're listening to 560 KWTO AM Springfield. And for the latest weather information, log on to our website, newstalk560.com.
CBS News, I'm Gary Nunn. 2 terrorist incidents today in Norway. First, a bomb explosion in downtown Oslo. A few hours later, a mass shooting at a youth conference on an island northwest of the capital. The Norwegian Prime Minister, through an interpreter,
Tonight and this night, we have to look after each other, talk together, and be together.
A group calling itself Helpers of Global Jihad claims responsibility for the bombing today in Oslo. 7 confirmed dead, 15 injured in the bomb. At least 10 dead at the youth conference. CBS national security analyst Juan Zarate.
Well, the twin attacks and the severity of them actually certainly do point to the potential that you have an al-Qaeda coordinated attack with bomb experts coordinating the explosion and then somebody hitting the island. But it's still not clear, and I think this is still a shock to not only the Norwegians but people around the world.
A man dressed as a police officer has been arrested in the shooting. Police say he was spotted earlier in Oslo. Triple-digit temperatures that have baked and burned the middle of the country for weeks, now steaming the east, and forecasts indicate the extreme weather will linger for at least through the weekend. Even a trip to the beach fails to provide relief for everyone. WCBS reporter Kelly Waldron talked with some parents in Belmar, New Jersey.
The sand, they tell me, is sweltering hot The water is cold, but it's also very rough. So some of those with small children are having a tough time seeking relief because they can't really go in the water because the kids can't swim very well because it's that rough. So I found many mothers who were actually fleeing the beach in hopes of finding a pool somewhere.
The excessive heat today stretches from Kansas to Maine and south to the Carolinas. An American jailed working as a contractor in Cuba today addressed the Supreme Court in Havana, appealing a 15-year sentence. Alan Gross was detained while working on a pro-democracy program intended to set up an Internet operation that would be out of the purview of Cuban authorities. CBS's Portia Siegelbaum is in Havana.
Alan Gross himself was allowed to address the court and express the reasons that he felt he should not be sentenced for 15 years, and basically, as we understand, to ask for them